That is interesting and weird. Also, investments are open if you want to invest your tickets, chat. So, this is the demo for Pharaoh: A New Era. This is the remaster of Pharaoh. It's published by .emu, and it's by the people who made that steampunk Walker City Builder game a while ago, which I always Lethis Path of Progress, I think. Anyway, from what I am aware of with this, is it's supposed to be literally just Pharaoh with new graphics, right down to they're leaving old exploits and bugs in, for better or for worse. Which I personally feel is kind of the correct way to remaster a game. I would love to see them make a new Pharaoh, but as a remaster, I'm really curious to see how this comes out. Just because, like, I've wanted to replay Pharaoh for a while, but I've kind of stepped away from it because I'm like, I kind of don't want to, like, sit there and, like, mod the whole thing up and, like, make it work properly on new OSs. So I think this is probably the best way to remake a game like this. But, let's take a look, shall we? Chat, we need a family name. Of course. So, chat, what do we name our family name? Oh, so yes, Caldris. Chataria? Hold on, I need to write that out. Chatara? Pharaoh? What, like Pharaoh? More like Unpharaoh. Very funny. Imhotep. I kind of like animals. Silly. You know what? Let's go chat. Bro, we're gonna go with that. All right. Proceed. Campaigns. Your family begins at the pre-dynastic period, leading a small band of nomads through their discovery of the arts of civilization. Your leadership helps to set Egypt on its course to eventual greatness. They're cursed, and still glimpsed only dimly. All right, so do I click that? That looks like a back button. That is a back button. Oh, I see. I'm supposed to click tiny. I need to make 6 meager shanties. Oh no, animal. Yeah, that's all I have to say. It's time to create 6 meager shanties.
Welcome to ancient Egypt, land of the pharaohs. Here you'll participate in the history of one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever seen. In an epic story that spans more than 15 centuries and 24 generations. You must lead one family, generation by generation, from its earliest beginnings in Egyptian prehistory, through the dawn of civilization, to the establishment of a unique and powerful empire and beyond. Our story begins more than 5,000 years ago.
This guy reads
along
really
the
slow.
banks of the Nile River in an area known as Nubt. Here, a small confederacy of clans struggles to eke out an existence in the harsh environment. With you at its head, your family leads this small settlement.
Monkey, I'm glad I'm not the only person who was thinking, nerd. nerd. The mission is lost if your debt rises up to minus 5,000. Watch your treasury carefully. Okay. The first things this village will need is housing. To provide settlers with a suitable place to live. A network of roads to allow eventual inhabitants to find their way around easily and efficiently. Build areas of housing, and you'll soon see people move into the village. Oh, I see. You want me to... Bonk. 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 No road access. So then you want me to build a... Road? Road? Road. Well. Still Pharaoh. God, this map is pretty. Okay, so so these ones are all nice and aligned, and I was about to say, so the person who built sideways, I'm gonna sue you, but crude huts. Those are what? Even more crude huts, gotcha. It's been a long time since I played the original Pharaoh. A long, long time. So a whole tutorial is needed, frankly. But yes, the ostriches seems to have returned. I'm not totally sure if I like the way they walk. They seem to be moonwalking, like they're moving faster than their feet carry them. If that's like a speed setting. Yeah, if I slow it down, it looks better. But the faster settings just look a little silly. Like, the animation looks better at slower speeds. I already did that, though, game. I think I broke their tutorial already. The path by which immigrants reach your city is known as the Kingdom Road. Immigrants always need free passage from the Kingdom Road to the city's housing areas. If you isolate some neighborhood, okay, from this vital link to the outside world, its homes will simply disappear. To evolve their houses, your inhabitants will need basic access to water, some well-placed wells to provide them water for two. Well-placed wells need to be placed on grassy areas to provide water for 2 tiles around themselves. There's some really weird wording in here. Like, weird wording. Cooler, thanks for keeping that sub alive, courtesy of Animal.
Thanks to AdAnimal104 for my sub gift. Cooler one yay also. Banana.
Well, I already built a road there, so does it want me to demolish the road? Not letting me build over top of it. Block, services, housing. I think that's what it wants me to do. We'll see you when we see you, pilot. Cheers, man. Right-click to go through the categories section and right-click again to quit the construction mode. Okay. Watch your inhabitants evolve until 250 people arrive. We're at 240, so we're damn close. 252, there you go. We'll see you later, Raz. A growing population needs a reliable source of food and some means of storing and distributing it. Certain animals, like ostriches in this region, can be hunted for game. Granaries store game meat and other foods, while bazaars distribute the food to the village's inhabitants. What a memory, I know, right? It's been so long. As with most working structures, in order to function properly, these buildings must be located within reach of housing. They must have enough workers to staff them, which, as the buildings spawn a walker to look for workers, and how they become animated once their walkers pass by occupied houses. You can click on a placed hunting lodge to get more information. Yep, hunters will now set out in search of prey. If successful, they'll bring the carcasses back to the lodge to be butchered. After which, the cart pusher will deliver them to the nearest granary for storage that we're going to build now. Granaries are somewhat undesirable to live nearby, probably because they smell bad, but you will need access to the workforce, so it's important to place them carefully. All right, granary. It's weird that I couldn't build it. Oh, I see, because they're on behind it. I can see them. While your hunters now deliver game meat to the granary, you still have no way to distribute it to your inhabitants. It's the job of the bazaar. The bazaar will send one of its workers to the granary to bring back food, and then will send the distributor roaming the roads to deliver it to your citizens. That's sweet communism. Bazaar. Well, I mean, if they're storing raw meat in the granary, I don't know. Because, like, they've already talked about how they're storing raw game, so they're probably butchering animals there at the very least. I could see that being undesirable to live next to. I mean, obviously, it's not like it's a tannery. They're not pissing on them before they, like, deconstruct them to be sold. But still, like, if you're living close to somewhere where bodies are being ripped apart, that would be unpleasant, I would think. When trying to place a building near a road, you will see indicators with arrows. The green arrow shows where the building will spawn its walkers and where it will take deliveries of goods. The red arrow shows the point of return for the distributors coming out of this building. Sometimes both points are the same, are on the same tile. The points might change when you build new roads next to existing buildings, and you can check them at any time by simply hovering your cursor on the structure you want to verify. They're doing their thing. This is a weird function of UI that I'm not super sold on currently. I don't remember what the UI was like in the original game, but it was nothing like this where you have to like click and then click. It's just clunky. Distributors, whether they distribute goods or services to houses, roam the roads of your city for a time and then come back to their building. During their walk, when they reach the crossroad, they can take either direction to avoid distributors from getting lost where you don't want them to go. Don't build a road network with too many intersections. Just don't give them the option. Problem solved. I don't think I played thousands of hours. I played a good number of hours, though. Roadblocks. One of the tools at your disposal to control walkers is the roadblock. Roadblocks prevent distributors from going through but let other walkers with a set destination pass. Use these roadblocks wisely, and you'll be able to manage gigantic cities. Here are a couple of roadblocks. Roadblocks on both sides of the kingdom will prevent walkers from going far away from your growing city. Where do you want me to put the roadblocks? There? Yeah, that makes sense. Hundreds of hours? I mean, it's just like me feeling like, man, I used to play hundreds of thousands of hours of RuneScape. And then I, on one weekend, leveled a character to the almost exactly the same levels I had back in the day. I was like, man, in my mind, I played way more of this game than I think I actually did. To make Newt sustains the tests of time, You'll need to make sure that structures in the village don't catch fire or collapse on themselves. Not all buildings are prone to risks, but the best way to tell if one will need to be visited by either an architect by either an architect from an architect post or a fire marshal from the firehouse is to click on it and open its panel info. Houses, for example, will catch fire if not attended to, but will never collapse on themselves. Well, that's good to know. No fire risk. Okay. They report no crime at all. But you still want me to make a, what? Architect's post, firehouse. Do a firehouse first. Where do you want me to put this game? Well, they're not really giving me a location, so I'm assuming it's just post it. Oh, I see. You can now place buildings where you want. Should have seen that initially. Also, before you guys start telling me where to put stuff, I'm very bad at Pharaoh, and I know that. Just to be clear. I have no idea about what the optimal builds are, and I kind of like it that way. Now that they have food, the villagers need access to clean water, which is obviously not what the wells are for. From the water supply, which is much preferred over the well water. Water supply like this, like wells, must be built on land which with underlying groundwater, as indicated by the presence of green grass growing. Water supplies also need to access employees. The presence of green grass employees in nearby housing. Once up and running, the water supply will dispatch a water carrier to deliver buckets of clean drinking water to all the houses in its immediate vicinity. In addition to these houses, won't need wells anymore. Right, so hygiene, supply. There's sometimes not make those optimizations for aesthetic reasons. That's almost always my reason. Go this way. This traffic. Well, I will say this. It's very pretty. I'm mostly just curious to see how well Pharaoh ages in the current year, if that makes any sense. Like, I remember enjoying Pharaoh, but games have changed a lot since Pharaoh, you know? So if they're just making the exact same game as Pharaoh, I do wonder how it's going to translate going forward, you know? Well done by filling your people's bellies with nourishing food and protecting their homes from fire and collapse. You have helped this fledgling civilization take its first step along the long road of history. On to the next mission. So we did Newt. Now we're in Thinis. We have to make 10 ordinary cottages. It's just funny. 10 ordinary cottages, chat. It's almost as pretty as Caesar 3. It's definitely pretty. I mean, if this... I really hope that this game does well and is received well, so that they could either A, go off and make a new Pharaoh, or B,
your family has
we'll listen.
resettled in the area of Thinis, in Upper Egypt. Here, a small band of local rulers is attempting to extend its influence over Lower Egypt and all lands along the River Nile, and to unite this realm under its own house with one supreme leader. Establishing Thinis as a thriving city like nothing ever seen before.
This voice
will
is mixed
prove
terribly.
The worthiness of the Thinite Confederacy and help them gain supremacy over Lower Egypt and the other factions vying for power. In time, this will mean providing the population with entertainment and building wonderful temples to worship the region's patron deity. To build a city this grand will require a substantial supply of cash. You'll find rich deposits of gold ore in Thinis, and harvesting them should be your first priority.
All right. I shall now reiterate my point, which is I want this game to come out and do well because I want them to either A, make more new Pharaoh games or move on to Caesar, Zeus, Poseidon, and all of the other games that were, you know, like this. Because I would love to see a remaster of the more fantastical, you know, games in this series. This mission is lost if your debt raised up to 5,000. Okay. Shouldn't be too bad. Start to lay down your housing and provide people with fresh water and food the same way you did in Newt. Try to be relatively close to those ore-bearing rocks in the northwest of the map. You're going to need to mine them. Okay. They're going to teach us how to mine things. You can clear trees with the destroy button, but not only will that cost you precious dividends, these won't grow back in future missions, and you'll have to plan carefully. Mineable rocks? Assuming these are the mineable rocks. Can I just say, these look really ugly. Out of all of the stuff that we've seen so far, like you have rock, and then you have rock with goldy thingy on it. I'm not a fan of the way that looks. Considering this is a remaster and like the entire thing that we should be talking about and looking at is the visuals, because that's like the main new thing about this. I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? Mineable rocks. I think that they're kind of ugly, but maybe just me. I'm thinking we do housing up here, maybe. Or actually, we could also just do housing down here, even over here. I mean, road's cheap, so. Let's run over to there. It's just a silhouette. I guess so. I don't know. I kind of wish it looked more like a different type of rock. But I'm being needlessly nitpicky here. It doesn't actually bother me. I need to wait for those to get constructed first. That. Pause for a little bit. Make a water supply right there. Let's grab farming, hunting lodge. Employees needed? Yeah, well, we'll get them. Give it time. It would look better that way. Yeah, and because this remaster is like entirely a graphical remaster, I think it's totally fair to be like pointing the finger at this would look better. So they should do the thing that looks better while the game is unfinished, you know? Because the game still is unfinished. Also need a firehouse. Kind of tempted to like maybe plop down here even. I think I'm going to do another set of housing up here. Do that. And that, and these need road access. Because I'm doing that right away, I'm going to also put a roadblock right there. Also kind of not a fan of the way the roadblocks look. I wish they'd fade more. Safety, this is what we need. I was wondering what that whoomp sound was. It was the ostriches, of course. So, fire post in an architect's house. You don't particularly like the art style of the people. Yeah, I was talking about that one earlier. I mean, they look okay, I think, if you slow the game down, run it in slow speed. I think then their walking animation looks nice. Otherwise, I think they look a little funky. They look kind of like a game that I played years ago, and I can't remember the name of it now. Completely blanking on the name of it. But there was this game that I played. It ran in a browser. Remember that much. And it was just this little game where you like controlled a bunch of people on a desert island. And it was neat. And these people kind of look a lot like that. And that's kind of not, I'm not huge on it, I'll be honest. Cheapo mobile games? Yeah, I wouldn't disagree to that. Music's good though. Music's always been good. Need to evolve these into meager shanties. Built these a little bit too far away. Built these just a little bit too far away, and I don't have enough grass to place more. No, I mean, the buildings, okay, to be clear, the buildings look fine. Like, I really like the way the environments and the buildings look. Just these could have looked a little bit better, and I think the people could look a little better. Aside from that, I think that the actual city itself looks wonderful. Zero 5. So we're just waiting for people to go get jobs, basically. Maybe it's because I put this here. That out. There you go. That seems to have done it. You've got employees now. We're just waiting on you. But yes, it is very much old Pharaoh. We're showing up there now. Pretty sure somebody just walked in here. Why is that number not going up? Oh, okay, because your first delivery's been dropped off. Kind of wish that the number of employees that had walked up there would go up as they went up, but old game stuff. Then you're gonna run around. Go gather more. Congratulations, Tygo used to be rich. Chat, can I get a round of beers? Mining treasury. Each structure costs, yes, not counting what you will spend to pay the workers' salaries. One way to make money back is to mine gold. Place at least 2 gold mines near veins of ore so you can start production of this precious metal. Make sure they have access to workforce and don't forget to protect them from risks. I'm assuming by risks you mean fire. Hoping that's close enough. No access to roads, yep. Going to knock out those 2 trees. They totally told me to plan carefully, right? Why can't I click on those buttons? Those buttons would be useful in this instance. Dead. Uh-oh. Kind of looks like the firehouse didn't do its job. Guys. I mean, they are doing their job. They're just very slow about it. Also, I'm kind of surprised they didn't give me any notification that stuff was on fire. Gold is a special resource that is stored in a palace, a unique building that also vaults the city's treasury. You can only build 1 palace. It must be constructed on a grassy areas. Yeah, I remember that bit. Each gold carrier reaching your palace will add 100 dividends to your city's funds. With this regular income, you should not have to worry about debt. Should not have to worry about debt. Sure, I'll believe you on that one. This seems a bit far away. I kind of want to put it here, but. Burning ruin. Mm-hmm. These are the ruins of the building named above. Derelict sites like this do little to enhance this location. Well, so my granary burnt down. Time to rebuild my granary. We also have crime. With this supply of cash reserve, however, comes the risk of theft. Constables can help reduce losses through theft by patrolling the streets to prevent crime and by subduing any criminals they encounter. Stop right there, thief. I'll beat your face in. The best way to prevent crime is to keep your population happy with adequate food and healthcare and jobs, just like real life. All right, well, anyway. Bonk, get rid of that. Grab us another granary, and hopefully you don't burn down this time, damn it. Safety. Police. Bonk. Ding. I love the little flag. Come on, chat. There's more than 2 of you here. I asked for a round of beer. You can do better than that. Quit failing me like this. Man, that poor dude having to just push that cart of gold bricks. Could you imagine how heavy that would be? Sawi? You're not Sawi. It's like a child apologizing after they've been scolded. You can check your houses by clicking on them to see the risk of crime. Yep. Yepity yep. Thanks, game, for informing me of tooltips. No crime at all! Look at that. This building, on the other hand, I want to know why it was at such fire risk that it didn't tell me about. Sturdy hut, crude hut. Oh, I see. Difference between the little green leaf onesie roof. Well, I run back and forth for a little bit. I built the thing the game wanted me to. Oh, okay. Now you're telling me to look at other UI overlays. Okay, so this one is at risk. Health and diseases. Crime isn't the only challenge you will face. Health can cause problems and decimate your citizens. Physicians patrolling a neighborhood will protect its inhabitants from diseases. Providing your population with food and fresh water will also reduce risk of diseases. Other structures will help your citizens' health going forward. The apothecary will help protect houses against malaria in cities with marshes nearby, for example. So you want me to, go into hygiene, I guess? Ah, I see the physician. I'm not a huge fan of this overlay UI. Wow, that was quick. I guess we just need to put you elsewhere. Let's just put the granary down here. Because it did state that it was at risk for fire up there, but it's kind of intense. So you need the physician's office game. It's all about, like, teaching yourself where the buildings need to go. Which I need to do, because it's been so long. That poor granary, it just didn't deserve it. Didn't. It really, really didn't. Also, chat, shout-outs to you guys for tuning in. Just saying. Did I just... Come on. I mean, I kind of wanted to read the dialogue it was going to give me, but... Proves best, smooth... Temple to Basset. Which one do you want me to build? Shrine to Basset. Festival to Basset. Can I read? Build a temple and a couple of shrines. It is way too easy to accidentally exit out of those. Really want it to burn down, and I'm assuming it'll just burn down if I put it there. We'll throw you down here. Makes everything around there happier. Then you wanted more shrines. Both patron gods and local deities can become hostile if not shown the respect due to their positions. Festivals are another way to appease the gods. Build a festival square in the city in order to hold a festival for Basset. All right, let's do that. Place that first, and then festival square, which is expensive. Must be built on a crossroad. Not enough of a crossroad? Literally a cross in the road. Okay, well, let's put it up there then. Try this. Bonk. Consult the overseer of the temples to determine the statues of each gods in any particular... Oh, the status of each of the gods in any particular city, and whether the gods are sufficiently appeased. Lightning bolts indicate that the god is feeling hostile towards the city, while ankhs indicate that the god is feeling benevolent towards the city. The more you see of either of, the more likely the city is to feel the god's presence, for better or for worse. There are different overseers available on the left bar to help you govern your city. Check them from time to time. They should be able to answer most of your questions. So chat, what do you guys think of this remaster? If you were to give them feedback, what would you say? I really don't want that water walker walking up there. Wasting time. Months since festival. 26? Gather we should hold a new festival. Make a lavish festival. Preparing for festival. Overseer? All right. People are pleased with me. Well, that's good. Migration, little change is expected. City has an unemployment rate of 46%. That just means I need to employ more people. Could probably just... All right, I think that the fire marshal needs to be fired. Because... Come on, guys. Really? Which one did I turn on? This is not a very good UI solution. This is my least favorite UI solution you could possibly have. I really dislike this UI solution because these little images mean nothing to me. They literally mean nothing. The palace burnt down and the granary burnt down. So I don't like that they've gone with this folder solution. I know that other games have, but if you're going to go with the folder solution like this, at least have the decency to give us the wording of what each icon is. Because I can figure it out, but I don't want to have to learn the UI through trial and error. I'd like to just be able to read it. Like, this is nice over here. Like, you know, it says what it is, so that's fine. But on this side, I don't know what any of this is. Like, genuinely, I have to, like, figure it out. And that's not super cool. Not a big fan of that. Also, I'm assuming that I should just make more lines because... Also, I don't think that there's a copy button. I'd like to be able to, like, select stuff directly from that. To be able to copy it. That would be much more pleasant. They'll probably add text in the updates. Yep, but this demo is designed to give feedback, so I'm giving feedback. Also, looks like people are leaving because they never got a job. Also, their houses burnt down. Guess I need to make another fire safety thing. Wherever that was. Stock production, distribute food and stuff, services, safety, the ineffective firehouses. Gotcha. Build another one of those. Maybe even 2 more. Especially because, like, some fire risk. Okay. Now it's actually telling me that there's fire risk. Good to know. So that was what? I also would really like just a search bar at the bottom so I could just type in palace. Because that would be infinitely quicker than me, like, memorizing all of this. Especially because a lot of these are, like, stuck in submenus, too. All right, let's rebuild that palace. Get income coming in again. That was the granary, I think. And then the rest was housing. So a lot of insurance fraud going on here, I think. You never saw the effective range? Yeah, same. It's like some of the details here are really hard to see. Like if I like the firehouse, it's not really giving me any indication of how far it can go. So it's kind of not super clear. Because like, and also this isn't telling me if it's at fire risk, right? The houses do. These don't. And the vast majority of the stuff I've had burnt down are stuff that's not telling me the fire risk. The stuff that's burning down is not giving me a fire risk, so that's a wee bit bothersome. Also, I totally missed what the game wanted me to make. What did you want me to make, game? Shrines and temples to make the area more desirable so houses can evolve to access entertainment. Yeah, like, these are not giving me any... I don't know what you mean by 2D view. They just need to highlight the roads of what's going to affect what. There probably is... The thing is, there probably is, like, an effectiveness rating thing in here. But I don't know what any of these mean, really, right? Because they're not giving me tooltips for them. So I don't know what that means. Top-down view? Did you ever play the old ones? Because the old ones never had that. I don't think it needs that. It just needs to highlight the pathways where things go. They're never going to give you a top-down view in a game like this with hand-drawn sprites. That would be counterproductive. Very counterproductive, in fact. I'm just finding information in this game difficult currently. But that's also how I remember the old one being, so that may not be a bad thing. We did have that festival. Entertainment. Okay. That's what the game wanted me to do. Leisure time activities. Taking a little entertainment is a wide assortment of entertainment. One of the hallmarks is a truly cultured city, but you can provide entertainment from jugglers. The juggler needs a venue to perform. Okay, so that's what? This? Ah. Once again. Very high fire risk. I'm wondering if it's because I built them on sand. Like, that wouldn't entirely surprise me. But this is perplexing. Collapsed building? Sure, where? Was it that? Okay, it's these that are collapsing. Thank you, game. Clicking on that should take me to the collapsed building. No question there. Should very much just jump me to whatever building just collapsed. If it's not gonna do that, like, why even give me the pop-up? What was I looking for? Services, safety. Still maintain that it should let me just copy buildings. If you're gonna give me a modern feature, let me just click on a thing. Hey, Lilicit. How's your day? Right side, we are making money. Our money has gone up. Where's that? I guess we'll just stay zoomed out. Did I make that juggler's square? Yes, I did, up there. No fire risk, okay? How about you? No fire risk, yay! No fire risk, yay! Alright, so I guess I just need to give them each their own fire services, which is fine. I just wish it would give me an idea of how far they reach. Those are loads of gold. We don't have any grain farms currently. This is gold. These are like literally carts full of gold. That's already 1/4 of the gold in the world. I mean, I have a feeling those carts would also be sinking into the sand, but that's besides the point. Yep, there's a demo out. Not super pleased with the UI. Not super pleased at all. It needs work. It needs more tooltips, especially for this half. This half is all nicely tooltipped, so even though it's clunky, it's fine. This half has no tooltips, so I don't know what any of this shit means. Like, yeah, I could figure it out with trial and error, but that's not ideal. So far my complaints. The walking animation is weird. This half of the UI needs tooltips. But aside from that, it's Pharaoh. I'm still bad at Pharaoh, though. Okay, was there anything else that I missed? "10 ordinary cottages." Disease strikes. Once again, I will maintain that they should tell me where disease is striking, because the game is not doing that. This game's doing a really good job of not communicating what the problem is to me. So I'm hoping that like they'll get icons or something, or maybe let me enable or disable icons to be able to tell what's going on. So I do have that physician's office there. I'm gonna place another one down here, because how much are these? $50. I think I'm gonna build another set of workers down here. Oh, I'll bet you they do. They're probably in here. Like they're all of the different overlays are in here. The problem is they're not telling me what any of these overlays are. So I click this button. I'm assuming it's whatever that god is and something. But as somebody who hasn't played Pharaoh since I was a small child, I have no idea what that shit means. So, I mean, it's probably in there. It just needs to be communicated better how to find it. If that makes any sense. So it's probably in there. They need to explain it better. Which I think is fair to say. Curious if they'll be able to reach food from here. Not actually sure. I could just put another bazaar down here. Those what we need? Rough cottages. Hey, those are what we need. Okay, so we just need the wealth to keep going up, basically. Production. It's just... Also needs to be an easier method of just copying stuff. Isn't the grassy area for farms? That and water. But I don't have access to farms yet because we're in a tutorial. Production, mines. So yes, you are correct, but also can't do. So yes, I think you are correct on that observation, but doesn't change a whole lot. All right, so these guys need more food and water, I think. So what I guess we're gonna need to do how many workers do you have? You have 5 employees. Sure what that means. How's it going? It's going all right, Beermanier. We're checking out a bunch of demos on Steam today. This is the demo for the remaster of Pharaoh. We're having a peek at currently. A rough cottage. A meager shanty. Oh my god. Gotta be like almost as good as a rough cottage. A meager shanty. Looks like they're getting water delivered. And also the bazaar is making it out here, so that is good. They are getting food. Yeah, currently the only food source that we have is killing ostriches, and then carrying ostriches over their heads, obviously. Very strong. Yeah, it looks like the only thing we have is game meat, right? The granary, obviously. There better be Beermanier. Yeah, the only thing under food and farming that I have right now is the hunting huts. It is quite literally the only thing that we have. These strikes. Again, you should tell me where the disease is. The bright side, I do have lots of people living here now. All right, I got a few trees to take out. Now, I can't tell if there's a tree here. Oh, there's definitely a building there that I collided with. There's definitely a building there. All right, let's do a... Let's just plop an architect's hut up here. I will build another firehouse back here. Realize that there's one right there, but we're gonna need more. And we're gonna place you right there. Police hut. And get us another one of these, I think. Enjoy your lurks, Taylor. Because I do have a lot of water. Whole lot of water. There's a shrine there. I give you this, 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 and that. Go into water supply. I'm gonna give them a water supply.
Many people ask me.
Hey Ryan, what up?
Will we the plane?
You know, it almost works that you said "bon't" instead of "don't" because some of them kind of sound like that. Don't mess with Wada Beltalada. Don't do it. Also, we making all of the money. We ain't gonna fall into debt this time. We definitely ain't gonna fall into debt. Not this time. But speaking of definitely not falling into debt this time, how you doing, Ryan? Good to see you, man. I hope you've been all right. The one that you posted pictures of looks pretty sweet. I've got a picture disc on the table right now, which we'll play after this. Although mine's very hollow and nighty. I have to wait a little bit until they go eat more ostrich. Yeah, so aside from, like, not being 100% sold on the way the people look, I think the people could, like, grow on me. I wish the mines looked a little... I wish that the mineable gold rocks looked a little different from the normal rocks. But aside from that, like, this is a beautiful visual upgrade to the old Pharaoh games. I think it's Rough Cottage. Was it Rough Cottages that we needed to get to? Ordinary cottages. My meager shanties. It's these guys that we need. I'm guessing we need to just completely annihilate the entirety of this population. We need to level up the ordinary cottages from ordinary cottages to rough cottages. Probably plop another one of these down, because all that we really need is food. Disease strikes? Well, that's not good. Okay, I do got plenty of physicians. Yeah, that's my... Aside from, like, some minor UI gripes, the people animations do look very... I feel like I've seen these animations before. That's the only way I can put it. Clicking on disease strikes needs to take me to the location or turn on the overlay to show me where diseases are. Like, it's real annoying that I can't click on this. Like, let's guess based on icon. Like, what? I assume this is disease? So I'm assuming that everything that's not pink doesn't have good healthcare access? I'm assuming that's what that means? I'm assuming. I should be able to fix that. If I'm guessing right. Like, that's really my only gripe with this right now, is, like, deciphering what some of the menus are is a little annoying. Now let's see if that is expanded upon. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, now they're getting covered. Sweet. Okay. So that's what that menu means. Got it. We don't have to worry about dental care yet. It's like, even though they're not in an area with a physician's office yet, they still are just like, yeah, we have excellent health. It's like, well, prepare for a festival. Been 38 months since the last festival. Really weird sound, and then I realized someone's vacuuming just outside of my apartment. How are we doing on food distribution? I think we should make us another bazaar. Specifically for, like, right there. Then hopefully they'll deliver more food down here. You know, it's funny that you got a picture disc, Ryan, because I also got a picture disc this week. I got a copy of Hollow Knight. Their picture disc. Which is also pretty snazzy. Kind of tempted to just run all the way along here with a bunch of housing. Overkill? Eh. Definitely not overkill. I don't have a specific distance for how far things reach. You can definitely see that this is not a desirable building to live next to. Because there's just not enough there. Oh, more houses are getting constructed. What do you need? Food? Okay, so I need more food. Food and farming. Time to do more of the clear cutting hunting. That's cheap, right? Everything that I'm waiting for is pre-orders that won't arrive for a while. Like that Danny Baranowski, what's it called? Super Meat Boy thing that I'm waiting on. That's not arriving for a while. We are feeding this entire city of 1300 with nothing but ostrich. At least the giant land chicken is still providing us with much sustenance. Chat, I got a very important question for you. What came first, the Egyptian or the ostrich? Oh, forgot to put fire safety down here. Still wish that these buildings would tell me if they had fire risk. They don't. They really give me like, oh, this has no idea if it's gonna burn down or not. Be real nice if they gave me some indication. I kind of don't have the ability to get excited for things right now just because I kind of can't afford things right now. So I just kind of hope that nobody releases anything for the next, like, 3 months. You okay? Cutest typed in ostrich incorrectly and then typed in ostrich incorrectly a second time incorrectly that said fuck all caps. This seems to be going as planned. You guys need a shrine out here. And I will give them access to a water supply here. Also, I really, really, really hope that this game's good. It comes out. Just, I can't stress that enough. Let's give them access to a well. Got plenty of meat stored. How's your meat supply? You've got nothing currently. You've got plenty, meaning you should be getting more delivered. Yep, there it goes. Yeah, but ghosts are very good at reading, so, you know, everybody has their talents. Ghosts included. Well, I think I figured out how to easy mode the economy for this mission. Just build a lot of gold mines. Problem solved. I mean, have you played Egypt in Civ 5? Because I think that would be why. The audio here is reminding you of Civ 5, then I would assume that you have, you know. Hey, the value of these are finally going up. Let's build more. I feel real weird not having any kind of farms. Like, this is really strange, actually. Build those in the right spot. I don't think I did. Build roads first. Ghosts make best spies? Yeah. Ghosts are best fly on wall. See, I always play, like, China and Russia in Civ, because they tend to have the perks that I like the most. That, I just saw a ostrich teleport. It was very funny looking. It got shot and then went boing and appeared over here. I think I'm going to build another granary, but like right here. You gotta be close to, leveling up. I like this. Not visited by tax collector, not paying tax. Probably giving us a happiness boost, I would assume. All right, well, I've got tons of money. And it's like, make sure you don't go into debt. Yeah? How would I go into debt? I need to figure out my population. It's like, I've also got all of these. It's like, I don't even know what... I just want to know what these overlays mean, man. Like somebody... Game, could you please explain to me what these overlays mean? In fact. So chat, how many of you are just like screaming at your monitor going, the overlay means this? Or whatever. Actually, I do need a pathway going through here. These can maintain roads. You're on audio only? Well, you can still be screaming. Like, I maintain that. You could still be, in fact, screaming at me. Someone's using closed captions, I think. That's utterly catastrophic. Cutest. Wrong soldered rings all day? Yeah, no, I understand that. We gonna make food distribution up here. And 2 more of those burnt down. Although they might not be burning down, they might be architectural failures. That's collapsed buildings. All right, so it's architects. We need safety. Architect. Go there. We go there. Imagine just like buildings falling down twice a week. just imagine that. That would wake the neighbors. You either have really loud speakers or really easily wakeable neighbors. We're doing our best to exterminate the local ostrich population, clearly. Oh, I understand. In regards to the yelling comment. Yes, that would wake the neighbors. I haven't built yet. Safety, hygiene. You guys have a physician already. No blocks. It's normal housing. Employment is at 38%. Right, well, we desperately need more gerbs. My version of Egypt is going to be witch. Where we witch. After I connect roads to all this crap. Kind of weird that can I go off the map? Nope, I can't. All right, well, I guess I get to delete all that at the end there. All right, maybe not all that, but I do have to, at the very least, delete those 2. Got a mess to delete over here. Because it's right at the edge of the map. All right, there we go. Hallelujah. Now these are going to need some architect's posts, that's for sure. I need safety. Architecture posts. Architecture post. There's another one down there. Need more entertainment. We're gonna try and make this part of town nicer. We're going to make another juggler's hut. I got the one up there. Get one down here too. And then why yell quietly? Fair enough. It took me a second to like put 2 and 2 together. Why you were saying that it would be so loud, but rather I don't need to put this here. I just need more platforms for them. You know, you have the hard knock life of working in these mines, and then you just get to, you know, walk past the mines on repeat. I think this will probably be our last one. Population of 600 modest homesteads. All right. This will probably be our last mission. So I'm expecting more voice acting now. Also, I think that this voice acting is kind of not great.
The Thinite nobles still struggle to unite the lands of the Nile under one supreme ruler. To aid them in their cause, it is hoped that you will endeavor to establish a thriving community at Perwajit, in the humid delta region of Lower Egypt, thus spreading their influence throughout the length of the sacred river. To support a population larger than that of a village, you must learn to use agriculture. Egyptian farmers have begun to exploit the rich, fertile soil deposited by the annual inundation of the Nile River for growing crops. The Nile can be hazardous, however. Many dangers lurk along its banks and in its waters, such as deadly crocodiles, hippopotamuses, and malaria-carrying mosquitoes.
Yeah, I don't like that voice acting. It's not very good. The mission is lost if you go in 5,000 in debt. Watch your treasury carefully. Okay. Why is this so far down? What? Feed your people, in word I can't pronounce. You must build farms directly on floodplain in order to gain the benefits of increased fertility. Unlike most working structures, farms on the floodplain do not need direct access to employees, but do need a steady workforce of peasant laborers supplied by work camps to tend to their fields. Build work camps fairly close to the floodplain farms so peasants won't have to walk too far to reach them. Each year, the Nile floods its banks and replenishing the depleted soil on the floodplain with rich, fertile mud. These peasants harvest the annual crop just before the inundation and deliver it to your granaries, because there is only one harvest per year, and make sure your city has enough granaries to store the sufficient amount of food for your growing population. All right, so gotta get people housed first. Yeah, there's something about the voice acting that's a little off. It certainly feels off. I'm not a huge fan. Okay, so now I can make fig farms. Do I click and drag these? All right, that wasn't what I was expecting. Been a long time since I played this. Let's just work on housing first. I'll see. It looks like there's no mining on this map. Okay. Just confirming what I have available to me. Floodplain there. A lot of floodplain here. Let's go like here. Could be placeholder? Oh yeah, no, totally. I mean, anything could be placeholder, like we don't know. I'm still going to, if I see something that annoys me or something that I don't like, I'm still going to highlight it and point at it. Because that voice acting certainly needs work. And it sounds like somebody's trying really hard to be George Takei without actually being George Takei. Is kind of my take on that. Safety. All right, so let's do Architect's Post. Water. This seems to be the pattern that I remember doing back in the day. It was just like Architect's Post, water, and then wells in the middle. I don't know how accurate that is to my memory, but this is certainly what I remember doing. Then safety. Up an Architect's Post down there. A shrine. Pop in right there. I'm going to do more housing right here next. And go to farming. Okay, that's weird. You see that? You click it? And that preview pops up. That's funny. Let's actually move that. That should be fine. Let's go to granary. Place the granary a little bit this way. Just to get some distance. And go to the bazaar and place the bazaar down here, I think. All right, let's unpause. Oh, totally. I mean, like, if it's temporary voice acting, then that criticism is just a non-concern, but it is certainly not very good voice acting from what I've heard so far. And really, like, the art in this game is good enough that the voice acting deserves to be better, I guess. Also place a police station. What is the thing that I'm looking for? Entertainment's an option. Probably shouldn't have placed that there because I'm going to start doing this in a second. Should actually move the juggler's stand over there. Hygiene. That's the thing I'm looking for, the physician's office. I'm going to place right here. And now I need a water supply, which I'm just going to plop down here. More wells, which I'm going to... Oh, that was quick. Malaria. Malaria is most prevalent in water and close to water and marshland. Malaria overlay shows. Sure, which is the malaria overlay? The malaria overlay shows which are more likely to succumb to the illness. Access to clean water from a water supply and insect repellent provided by a local apothecary. Both greatly reduce the risk. Okay, good to know. Let's go into hygiene. Okay, that's what we need. Plop you here. You here. The thing that we're really missing is food. Because I don't really... Like, the only thing I have is this right now. But the Nile's flooded currently. Because I'm also not seeing any ostriches. Yeah, I've definitely seen temporary voiceovers, but usually when I've seen temporary voiceovers in other games, they're like, "Hey, this is temporary, don't judge." It's usually, they usually give some sort of like FYI, but... Hello, Pillow Willow. I'm also excited for this remake. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Placing more fig farms is what I'm doing. Oh, of course they need road access. That's what I did. Head out to there and then down to here. Do I want to like this way? I can actually. This is annoyingly suboptimal all of a sudden. Well, I can fit one there. Problem is I can't, apparently, go that way. That works. Guess we'll do that. That doesn't sort you out. What, like physically or just available digitally? I think .emu has released some of their other soundtracks in the past. Physically and digitally, so I don't see why not. There goes the workers from the work camp. Or at least one of them. It's too busy last season building not farming related things. Pretty sure I could do this. I need to stop building these farms first. He says as he continues to build farms first. Before getting the roads down to them. There we go. You can help it, whatever it takes. Eh, well. I don't know when you tuned in, but I'm quite the fan of physical releases of music. I mean, I wish you'd tell me where the disease is striking, game. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that disease is striking. Hopefully it's striking up a good pose or like a good beat or something, so it's not just wasting our time with all of this striking. Maybe the diseased formed a union and didn't tell us. Mm-hmm. That's okay, and I'd prefer you don't promote other creators in my chat without permission. Also, looks like the fire group here is not doing their job. Road didn't reach the last farm. You are correct. Thought I clicked and dragged that far, but I suppose I didn't. I just shout out the fact that the building that burnt down right next to that wasn't supposed to. What was I built? What did I have there? You know what you just did, Pillow, so don't do that in the future, please. Not everybody has the same taste in creators as you. Some people dislike certain people. Let's do this. And you. Next to each other. Burn down again, I swear to Christ. I'm gonna come over to your house. Game. I'm not sure if I need another physician. I don't think we do. Dude, like, really? Do wish it would give me more feedback. This is... Like, I understand the dedication to a classic franchises, but, like, we need, like, audio... Like, I remember Pharaoh from back in the day having audio-based notifications stating, oh, bing, a thing is burning. Okay. But this is just not doing that to a point that's, like, actually a little bit aggravating. More than anything. Hey, Adra, what up? All right, well, we have figs. My granary is full. There you go. You have a new location, guys. As per usual, I've completely overdone my production. Better be over-prepared, I say. And they all drowned to death. That's fine. On whose Discord? On my Discord? What? I don't know whose Discord you're talking about. Unless you're referring to this game's Discord, in which case they should already have gotten this feedback. Of course it's fine. They'll be reborn next year. Egyptians believed in, like, no reincarnation or anything, so, like, you know, as far as their families are concerned, they all just went and died. This should. Cutest. I don't really care if the old one did or didn't. It should. Hey, I'm getting some houses leveling up now. Alright, we should just be able to speed up time here. Disease strikes. Good to know that the diseases are protesting for better wages. Should also set up some roadblocks. Don't need don't need a road there, and I don't need a road going that way. This music is vibes. This is truth. Well, looks like we get figs, and then we get rid of those figs pretty quick. Food supplies are going up. Good. No fire risk anywhere. Trying to build housing and organize it into a cottages game. Is there a hotkey for this? There should be. Still certainly don't have enough granaries. Did my juggler's hut burn down? I think it did. It must have been one of the buildings that burnt down up there. I can't remember. Did the old game have a rebuild button? I remember it having a rebuild button. But I might be misremembering. Or maybe I had some mod that made it do that. We're doing our best, Adra. Doing our best. Had an undo button? Yeah, that's not a rebuild button, though. Industry. Now that you've given your people basic food and water, you can enhance their lifestyle by taking a picture of them and then screaming "enhance" really loudly while doing funny hand motions, just like in Blade Runner. But aside from that, you can enhance their lifestyle with other goods, such as pottery. Build a clay pit close to the water, and a potter nearby. Make sure that these have access to labor as usual before a long cart will deliver to the potter will create the pottery things for your city. Build a storage yard to store the final product, as well as any excess clay the potter does not need. One clay pit can usually supply enough clay for 2 potters. Workers from the bazaar will collect the pottery from the storage yard and distribute it just as they do food. Industries like pottery also provide your city's inhabitants with much needed jobs. All right. So we've got our ordinary cottages, which is good. Other things are upgrading. Question is, actually, hold up. 42% employee. Yeah, we can do better. Clay pit. All right, but before we do clay pit, we need a storage yard. I'm assuming they just want it next to the edge in areas that don't flood. Actually, fuck, I should have put it up here. All right, change of plans. Doing them up here. I'll leave you down there, that's fine. You're gonna fall down if I don't give you... fucking from distribution. Just waiting for a gap between people. There we go. Safety. Architect's post. And make a potter. I recommend listening to a group called Muslim Gauze if you like interesting, weird, ethereal music, but like this. It's one of those things where every now and again I see one of those records in the record store and I'm like, $170? Nah. They're cheaper on Discogs, but still expensive. Cut that roadblock. You would love the world section in some of the record stores here in Vancouver. That's the case. All the employees they need. Oh, I need one of these guys. I just can't remember what section it's in. Oh, for sure, right? Also, Pillow, I do realize that you followed me 15 minutes ago. I just want to warn you that you might want to type in !VID and look at the YouTube channel to get kind of an idea of the games I stream, because you might not get a ton out of this channel until this game comes out proper. Just a prior warning. Okay, well, they dropping off. I just like to warn people because every now and again I'm playing stuff that's a lot more easy to get into, and then they see the normal stuff that I stream and then they unfollow within a week. I do run into that problem from time to time. Alright, so now we're literally just waiting until we get some pottery stored here. Well, that didn't take very long. I was like, I'm going to just delete this, so that has range, but I guess it didn't have range. Bonk. Alright, so that was an architect's post. This actually makes me want to go back and play OG Pharaoh and just be like, all right, so how close is this? Dude, they've stated and confirmed in the past, Ryan, they're going to do that once the soundtrack is done. The problem is the soundtrack's not going to be done until soon TM for Caves of Cud. That's the problem. You have to go prep for lunch. Prep away, Ming. You know where to find us when you get back. Well, I don't have enough storage space, and I also don't have any real form of income. So, kind of can't really afford to do much more. So we'll just let these people keep drowning. It's fine. Hey, they don't need to live. I guess I could make another granary. I just completely, like, built way too fast. I mean, it's their fault for not eating the food faster. I mean, come on. They wouldn't have to drown if, like, you know, they just ate it all. Beautification, excellent. We've made some pottery. You've gotten some industry up and running, and you can think about a few improvements for the city. Beautification can be used to make neighborhoods more desirable by making the area surrounding them more attractive. Gardens and statues and plazas help houses to evolve. Several garden plots can be placed next to each other to form larger parks. Place plazas around paved roads to enhance their appearance and improve the desirability of nearby land. Also, if there's a hotkey to speed up and slow down time, I haven't found it yet. Though I really don't need you guys getting lost up here right now. So let's do that. Gardens. Medium snatches, small snatches. I love a good small snatch you. I don't really know what it wants me to do now. $600 population and 10 modest homesteads. Sure, what level modest homestead is. Is that the one after this one? R or T? That's a... All right, well, found it. That is a really weird hotkey choice, but no reason to complain. Well, I didn't need that storage yard anyway, so yeah, I can burn down. That's fine. I ended up moving it over here anyway. So, ooh, that pottery looks pretty. What exactly? How? Okay, just an open question for you here, Ikomek. As somebody who like this makes me want to play the original Pharaoh, to be able to compare this to Pharaoh, or the original Pharaoh to the like remake of Pharaoh, right? This kind of makes me want to play that. So what exactly would playing, you know, a different game do to help me like remind myself what features the other game had? just kind of asking for science. What exactly would that do? Put plazas on paved roads? Yeah, I know. Just like this one. On paved roads, not the dirt roads. Which extend as value goes up. I know how this game works. Oh, probably, but like... I'm just stating that RNT is an odd default. A weird default. It's like plus and minus 1, 2, 3 are what I'm used to. Just a weird default. Like, it's fine on RNT, it's just a weird one. That's not what I would do if I was making it. And then that was a granary. I mean, if I were to go back and do a series playthrough of any of these games, it would be Zeus or Poseidon, because those are my favorites. Far and away, I like the more fantastical ones, but I don't think I would. So I'll just be completely honest with you. I do not think I would ever do a playthrough of these classic games. I've just got too many other games to play, and not enough interest in these. I'll play this when this remaster comes out, but. So that's what we need to get it up to. I think. Those modest homesteads, right? Yeah, okay. I need 10 modest homesteads and 600 pop. I literally just need some more beautification and we're good. I mean, I never played the Caesar games, so I have zero nostalgia for them, so there's even less chance I would go back to an old Caesar, unless they did a remaster. But even then, I doubt I would go back. I mean, if they did a Caesar remaster, then I'd have reason to go back, now wouldn't I? But I would prefer they make a new Pharaoh or a new Caesar. Like, I would prefer a Caesar 4. Like a new mainline Caesar game. Than just purely the upgrades. We're actually making money now. Because of taxes. I mean, that's what happens when you remaster any game. Doesn't matter what franchise it is. Hello? It really doesn't matter what franchise or even type of game it is. If you're remastering a game, you're going to have purists and people who've played the game for their entire lives that love it, that want very specific things. I'm not one of those people. I'm somebody who played these games casually back in the day and enjoyed them and would like to experience that again. But don't really have any interest in going back to the old games. Because while I do have nostalgia for them, it's not that strong. Don't need an architect's post. Do need one of these. Do need one of these. Here. Build some statues up there. I don't know why I keep clicking the same one. Trying to click the next one. All right, you. I probably just need more clay pits. Pots. Everything I've read about this remaster, because I haven't played it, right? This is my first time touching it. But everything I've read about it is that they are making the old game 1-to-1, which is fine. But that does come with certain caveats, and if you are doing that, you do make it harder for newer people to get into the game. Kind of not a huge fan of this UI in the slightest. It's not very good. He's 16 years old now? Yeah, Caesar's old. These games are old. That is a lot of food getting delivered to that new spot. All right, let's make more potters, I think. But only if none of them are hairy. Probably just make more potters too. I'm also just kind of short on jobs anyway, so. Yeah, I was I was under the impression that the team on this was tiny. I don't know if I'd call it indie, considering .emu is far from indie, but it's a small team that's been hired to do a remaster of an old series that's owned by bigger names, so I think calling that indie is a little unfair, but certainly a small team. What was I looking for? Need more plazas. Noticing all of their wells over here are empty. So I need an apothecary. That's the other thing that I was looking for that I couldn't remember what I was looking for. And a water supply. Yes, and I absolutely hated it, Omega Zeta. I love that game in theory, but I hated its execution. Very, very, very like, poorly executed game. You wish that you hated the Air Billions? I loved it initially. Like, I loved, like, the first 2 hours of it. But I really quickly, with the early access version of the Air Billions, developed a massive amount of dislike. Uh-oh. Don't quite have enough fire coverage, I guess. Let's pause for a second while I refill my coffee. I developed a massive dislike for the way the units controlled and the way the pathfinding worked, and they never changed that throughout early access. And then I became excited about it again, hoping that I would enjoy the campaign. And then the campaign was one of the saddest excuses for a terrible piece of shit, garbage, crap, awful, fucking disgustingly, offensively bad campaign I've ever played for an RTS. Also, the writing was bad. So, while I love that game in theory, the execution of it was very, very, very poor. And I don't want to play a fucking tower defense that's disguised as RTS. Everything about that game was bad. I kind of wish that I liked it because the people who like that game seem to have so much fun with it, but my god, I hated it. Is your fire risk? No fire risk, eh? The building right next to you burned down. Got low fire, no fire, some fire risk. Okay, let's... Pop another one of these down. Pop another one of these down. I don't know, you can go look at the news yourself if you would like to discuss that with yourself. You can do that. I'm not here to educate you on the news of a very large country that I happen to live in. There are some days where I'm in that mood, and today is not one of them. So now it's just kind of a matter of getting, what, 10 of these up to ordinary cottage? Am I not at 10? 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. I thought that's what I needed. Oh, modest homesteads, not ordinary cottages, which are... I mean, I need to wait for taxes before I can build anything else, so... Employment is only at 39%. Well, can I not? The heck did my bazaars go? There we go. We actually have some modest homesteads now. Problem is... Okay. I get it. I understand what we need. Problem is keeping that up. I've just got too many people. Guess I could just, like... Oomp. You guys can just move out. Bye. Doing all right, Bobtron. Playing a bunch of demos. Also don't need a lot of these farm fields. Not to finish this mission anyway. There we go. We're getting the modest homesteads. We just need more things delivered. Problem is we are bleeding money. Modest homestead. Homestead. Can't count, but I feel like we should be close. Really funny when you just get stuff like flipping between. It's like super happy to not super happy to super happy to not super happy. I got more than enough food. More than enough pottery. Yeah, I just needed it delivered. There we go. Superb! Your own citizens are beginning to look to you as their caretaker. Neighboring cities also hail you as provider in these times of need. You have a good night, animal. Cheers, friend. So all I can click is the next mission button. But I said after the last one, I think that's probably us for this demo. I mean, this is a work in progress version of a game I've already played. So we'll definitely come back to this. But I, need the game to be done first. So I think I've kind of gotten everything out of this that I can. If you want to try this demo yourself, it is available on Steam. Go play it. Go leave them feedback. Do all of that. But till then, I think it's time for us to listen to another record. All right, we should be back in games and demos. So that was this. Like I said, go try it out. Boom. What's up? It's my face again. Also, hi, Domborn. What is up? How's things? What are you up to?